Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trainz Railroad Simulator. Trainz 2019 for me, 2022 for some of you. Today we're going to be taking a look at a relatively new release from K&L Trainz, one that I, to be perfectly honest, forgot about. Not that I meant to. Typically I've really enjoyed K&L's recent products. I just 100% forgot that this was a thing. I don't know why. I haven't seen updates from K&L. I haven't seen them putting out anything saying, oh my goodness, this is wildly new. Now, granted, there might be things on Facebook. I don't know why Facebook is not showing me anything new, but such is life. But we're here today. We're going to take a look at them because I didn't forget them today. So these are the Canadian National U1f 482 Mountains, nicknamed Bullet Nose Betties. This is a what do they call it? A major pack, multi-pack, something like that from K&L Trainz. Where mega pack, there it is, there's the word. As he did a full set of passenger cars to go with this pack. So that's awesome. And it's kind of nice to be able to take a look at something a little bit different for a change. 482s are, in my opinion, one of the more overlooked wheel arrangements of the United States, even though probably one of the better known multi-purpose locomotives in Texas anyway. I know with the Texas and Pacific, the 482 was the heavy passenger locomotive. It was kind of the do-all, end-all that the 210-4s couldn't do, but it's a very much unsung wheel arrangement. Frisco 1522 is really about the only major mountain type locomotive that has operated in recent years in the United States. Yeah, so it's kind of cool to see a mountain class get a little bit of fame, even if they are Canadian, har. But these are some pretty neat locomotives overall. I believe there were a total of 20 built between 1944 and 1945. Obviously owned by the Canadian National. Don't believe any other railroads operated them. I believe these are a Canadian National exclusive. So there's that. Preservation. There are 3 that survive today. 6060, owned by the Rocky Mountain Rail Society. 6069 at Sarnia, Ontario, and 6077 at the Northern Ontario Railroad Museum. With one of them having been operated in fairly recent history, in 1985 through 86. Number 6060 was restored. I do not believe that it is currently operating. I could be mistaken on that. I'd be a liar if I said this was a locomotive that I followed a lot on. I personally have never been a big fan of even semi-streamlining. Just doesn't really float my boat. So it's not one that I dug too much into, but I do believe that 6060 no longer operates. And I don't know whether or not it's currently being ready for operation. Ah, it's on KNL's website. As of today, the 6060 is undergoing a full restoration to operating condition. So that's pretty neat, pretty neat. So one will be operational in the near future. 6060 is probably the more well-known of the three, because it's got a pretty interesting backstory. Canadian National Engineer Harry R.J. Home purchased the locomotive for $1, and in 1962 the 6060 was placed on static display at the Jasper train station. Yeah. So, let's dive into the pack, shall we? Let's actually take a nice, good, up-close look at them. So you're going to get 3 locomotives. You're going to get one without the bullet nose, and then 2 with the bullet nose, one of them being 6060 in particular, which will also come with a auxiliary water tender. And then you'll get a set of lightweight passenger cars in Canadian National Green and Yellow, the CN Tuxedos, and Via Rail. Which we'll take a look at a little bit closer in a second. But I want to see the locomotive first. So first up, we have the bullet nose. This nice round smoke box door shroud. Very neat looking locomotive. Very neat looking locomotive. So up close, it looks awesome. Got a lot of telltale signs of K&L's recent works, so very much an upgrade over his older work. Not saying anything bad about it, just saying it's a huge upgrade over a lot of his older stuff. Lots of 3D detail, lots of 2D unfortunately, so things like the rivets are 2D, the grading up here is 2D, which, it's Trainz. It's not that big of a heartbreak, but it is a little bit noticeable. I do believe he's actually got a cab as well. They did. So he did do a 3D cab for these locomotives, instead of the typical placeholder that a lot of Trainz steam locomotives have. So, for those of you that enjoy operating in the cab, you do have a full cab set up. And of course the unstreamlined, or the unshrouded, the flat nose version, which takes the cone off the front. I believe that's really the only difference between these two. It's really the only difference that I can see. Everything else looks pretty much the same. I think the only real major altercation that these locomotives went through was, I believe the entire batch was originally built as coal burners, and then something like half of them were converted to oil burning. Half the class have been converted to oil firing by October 1944. Yeah, So that's really the only major alteration they went through. Most of these locomotives would have been built fairly the same. So let's see what kind of bells and whistles we got to play with. Pull up our view the details. So we got headlights, of course. Not bad looking. I don't know why it's snowing. That's something that happened with the creating of the scenario. But yeah, headlights, automatic fireman, the Alberta coat of arms. Pops it right there. Pretty cool. It is a 3D object. The Alberta rose, which, let's see. There it be. Just had to catch where it was going. So the Alberta rose, which will pop up right here underneath the cab. Aux turbo generator. Adds an extra electricity generator up here on the front. Ditch lights. Ditch light illumination. Not a fan of the ditch light illumination. It's very starbeam, starburst, white LEDs. Doesn't float my boat. Turn those off. And let's see what else we got. Oops. Exhaust injector. Now where would that be? Unknown. White handrails. Okay, the handrails white all the way down. Yellow nose striping. Outlines the nose and the number boards. Cab windows. To open these front little windows here. Roof vents. Cab doors, as these do have enclosed cabs. Canadian winters can be harsh. And that is it for 6060. Oh, interesting. So you can add ditch lights to the tender as well. Kind of cool. Same for the aux tender. Let's see if anything changes on the non-6060 models as far as bells and whistles. So we don't get near the options on the non-streamlined model. Just the headlights, automatic fireman, and the vents. I am a little bit sad that we don't get the option to light up the marker lights. But, oh well. Let's see. Non-6060. So, the dynamically numbered coned locomotive. It's all of the same options that 6060 gets. That's pretty cool. got a nice whistle. I do like it. It does have a little bit of a loop if you really listen. You can just hear the kind of click, 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 but it's not that noticeable at all. Blowdown, something pretty typical of K&L products. Q key, bell, does function. Yeah. So let's also take a look at the passenger cars that come along. So let me pull up my list so that I know what all they are, because I don't know what they all are. Yeah. Oh, goodness me. You do get the 3 schemes. Each and all these cars are in each scheme, so I'll just kind of briefly look at them, but if I'm already talking about them, I'm not going to spend too much time going through each and every one of them. So, first off, we're going to get a baggage car, which looks pretty darn good. Lettering, the coloring and everything's nice and crispy, legible. It's got some nice detail on it. It has an interior. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to get a chair car. It says it's a first class coach. Does have an interior. Pretty darn cool. Smoking and non-smoking lounges. Gonna get a day-nighter. What that is, I have no idea. Looks like a fairly simple chair car. I'm gonna get a cafe bar lounge. Which, actually, that might be. Maybe not. It's not what this one is. Gonna get a cafe bar lounge. Gonna get a 10-5 sleeper and an E-series sleeper. These do have interiors. Ah, here's the bar. They do have pre-made consists, which are how I place them down. So these are how the pre-made consists are set down. Let's see, can we change anything on these? No. What about the baggage car? That's typically something you can, yeah, you can open the doors. Whoops. It's been a while since I played around with Trainz outside of the Eagle River updates. I keep getting my buttons mixed up. Cool, cool. Open those. Looks like it. So the baggage car is really the only one that we can do anything with. Flat. Anywho, let's go somewhere. operates pretty nicely. Everything looks nice and smooth. Bring it to a stop. Now, unfortunately, it does use the usual typical K&L chuff sounds, so there's really nothing special there. But on a fair note, it is Trainz, and it is ridiculously easy to change those sounds out for really anything that you guys would so care to have. But a little bit sad that there are no new chuff sounds. But the whistle does sound nice, bell sounds nice, generator and whatnot sound nice. So overall, excellent looking back, excellent looking model. I believe it's $15, so not a bad price, especially with today. Most DLCs for a lot of Sims now are 40, 50, 60 bucks. So yeah, definitely go check it out. It is available on K&L's website. Link in the description as always. Yeah, highly recommend checking it out, especially if you like the Canadian roots. This would be an absolute asset to have for those routes. I could see this being a wonderful thing to use on those long stretches, because these are nice leggy locomotives. They'll pick up and run. Eagle River is a bit of a small railroad to be having such a large locomotive, but you know, it is indeed the route that I choose to use. So anywho's, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.